If you turn off your cell phones, as this meeting is being recorded. Ellen, can you please do our roll call?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Ms. Callan Carson?
Here.
Mr. Carey? Mrs. DeRoberts?
Here.
Ms. Hernandez-Williams?
Here.
Mr. Riley?
Here.
Ms. Walters?
Present.
Mr. Weiner?
Here.
Vice Chair Mr. Lacavoli?
Here.
Chairperson Granato?
Present.
Wethersfield High School Student Representative Ms. Angelica Data?
Here.
And Wethersfield Public Schools Board of Ed School Kid Chairperson for Hanmer School, McKenna Schlenker.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Here.
okay.
She's
I had a
here
lot
and
to
she's
say
here.
there.
Yeah.
All present.
Thank you. And our kid chair, McKenna Schlenker, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so I understand we have lots of student and staff recognition tonight.
We do, Mrs. Granato, so I'm going to head over to the podium now. First of all, this evening, I would like to recognize 4 students who were selected as CABE, Connecticut Association of Boards of Education, Student Leadership Award winners. I do want to preface it by saying our 2 high school students, actually I see 1 high school student in the back. Yes, you are here. Very good. We are going up against Dollars for Scholars, the award ceremony tonight. So for our high school students, there's a little bit of a conflict. So if I could please have Ava Thompson, Gisela Vargas, Jacob Camilleri, and Joseph Sierri please come up to the podium. Stand right in front and turn around so everybody can see you. All right. Again, we wanted to have these guys go first specifically for our high schoolers because I know Ava probably has to be on her way. So again, with regard to Ava Thompson, we are pleased to present to you Miss Ava Thompson, one of our 2 students being acknowledged as the Wethersfield High School CABE Leader for 2025. Over the past 3 years, we have continuously been impressed by her exceptional academic performance with a 4.06 weighted GPA. Her intellectual curiosity and her strong work ethic abound. Ava consistently demonstrates critical thinking, real-world application of knowledge, and thoughtful classroom engagement. In addition to her academic strengths, Ava is empathetic, determined, and resilient, qualities that make her stand out as a leader and a role model. Her passion for business, particularly marketing, is supported by her analytical and communication skills. Ava is also a dedicated dancer of 16 years, balancing her artistic pursuits with academic excellence, showing discipline and perseverance. Ava believes in giving her best to achieve her goals, a mindset that will serve her well in college and beyond. We are confident that she will continue demonstrating this level of leadership throughout her post-secondary pursuits. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Miss Ava Thompson. Also, I do want to recognize our other Wethersfield High School CABE Leadership Award winner. She is over at Dollars for Scholars at the present time, but her bio certainly deserves some attention. Over the past 3.5 years, the Wethersfield High School community has had the pleasure of watching Gisela Vargas grow into a dynamic, self-driven student leader. Gisela has come into her own and has become a standout presence at Wethersfield High School, serving as class vice president, president of the Future Educators Club, co-president of DECA, and a DECA state winner. She maintains a 3.78 GPA and has earned high honor roll and all academic team for cheer, where she is also captain. And she also has membership in multiple honor societies. Gisella's leadership extends beyond titles. She excelled in an internship supporting small businesses with marketing strategies, created a nutrition curriculum for summer camps, and will help launch a chapter of Educators Rising. As a We Connect leader, she mentors freshmen with insight, enthusiasm, and often presenting on the spot and guiding students through the transition into the high school. She has consistently volunteered in STEM, education, and community service initiatives, including organizing care packages for homeless shelters. And Gisella's proactive mindset, community spirit, and dedication make her a true agent of change. We are excited to congratulate Ms. Gisela Vargas, our second recipient of the CABE 2025 Student Leaders Award for Wethersfield High School. And now I am pleased to introduce our middle school student leaders to you. I'd first like to talk about Mr. Jacob Camilleri. Jacob is a stellar student with an A+ average in all classes, including algebra. He is someone who is attentive in class, he diligently prepares for tests, and always follows up with teachers if he misses a class. Jacob has been a part of the drama club productions for the past 2 years and just performed as Monsieur Dark in Beauty and the Beast. Outside of school, Jacob has played baseball since he was in elementary school. He also umpires for Little League games. As the middle child in a family of 5 kids, Jacob emerges as a leader when helping out with chores and ensuring things are in order. And this summer, he enjoys spending time at his beach house in Niantic, where he goes crabbing. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Mr. Jacob Camilleri. And now I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to Mr. Joseph Sierri. Joseph's goal has been to get all A's in 7th and 8th grade, and he is on his way to achieving that goal. He is a role model and leads by example in the classroom, and that he completes all of his work, and he is an active participant. Joseph is thorough in checking his work to ensure that it has been done well. In the past 2 years, Joseph has been part of the drama club, robotics club, and Minecraft club. Outside of school, he participates in Taekwondo, where he has earned his junior black belt and is working on earning his black belt. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Mr. Joseph Sierra. Marjorie, did you want to get a photo?
Oh, sure.
The chair of our Community and Public Relations Subcommittee.
Yes.
Absolutely. Be honored. Congratulations. Well done, guys. Thank you. All right, for our next staff student recognition, I'm going to step away from the podium and invite up our friends from Highcrest Elementary School that are going to talk about the Connecticut Writing Project. Come on up.
John's idea. No, just kidding.
Good evening.
Thank you, Board of Education members, Superintendent Emmett, for welcoming our school this evening. I'm Christine Morey, principal of Highcrest Elementary School, and I am thrilled tonight to share with you some exciting new adventures that we've been embarking upon at Highcrest Elementary School, including some amazing teachers and some amazing students. So tonight we'd like to present to you about some new writing. Typically at our school, we've worked on writing, and we have shared that writing and celebrated that writing in our classrooms and across our school. We've had town meetings with writers' spotlights, but this year we entered the Connecticut Student Writing Project, and we'd like to celebrate those students who were awarded and also those students who participated. So I'd like to introduce you to our staff and students to share a little bit about this amazing work.
Good evening. My name is Melissa Mazzaferro, and I am a language arts consultant at Highcrest Elementary School. In January, I worked with 24 students to create and submit creative writing from grades K through 6, and entered them into the UConn student writers competition. And that competition is a competition that is open to K through 12 students throughout the state of Connecticut. Thousands of students participate, and I'm very pleased to honor the 9 students from Highcrest School who were awarded for their outstanding work in writing. Each of the winners are here and would like to share a little bit of their writing piece with all of you tonight. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Santino Nolan, and I am in the 5th grade. Today I'll be reading for you One Last Battle. Boom, bang, wham is what John heard as he ran for his life and as far as he could from Waterloo. Musket balls and cannon fire came from side to side, and all he could see was a gun smoke that filled his vision. John could barely see, but as the gun smoke cleared up, 3 British soldiers greeted him. The next thing he knew, he was on the ground with an unbearable pain in his stomach and chest. As he moved his hand toward the pain and blood rushed down his hand, he heard very vaguely, with ringing in his ears, "Charge." It was none other than Napoleon Bonaparte, leader and ruler of the First French Empire. But before he knew it, his hearing and sight went blank.
Good evening. My name is Luciana Scheinberg, and I'm in 5th grade. This is everyday acting. I close my eyes as I walk into the theater and through the aisles, knowing that in a couple of hours, the seats that I'm staring at won't be empty anymore. As I walk backstage ready to rock the show, I see my friends already covered in makeup head to toe. Then I say to my mom, I'm ready to fly. I give her a quick hug and say goodbye. I feel the light gleaming on my face and the beat of the music flowing through my body, the sweat rolling down my face. I smell the popcorn and Sour Patch Kids from the concessions and the fog coming from off stage leaking into the audience. My costume is starting to smell funky. I hear laughter and chatter, a rage of applause. Music escapes the speakers and drifts into the theater. Footsteps as the dancers shuffle their feet across the floor. The stage director calls 5 minutes till curtain, and my dad whistles loudly. I see the spotlight on stage and my mom beaming right at me. My siblings jump out of their seats. The audience is at the edge of their seats once the show is done. As I leave the theater, I look around once more, and inside me I feel the happiness of theater. I remember the true meaning of performing. It's not about the star quality or how high you can hit the notes. It's about what you put on the stage and how you can create your own character. Today I felt as my own character, and that character was me.
Good evening. My name is Taylor Palazzo. I'm in 5th grade, and I am so excited to read a part of Lost and Found. Finally, I get to go home and snuggle with Peanut. Mom was wrong. This was the worst day ever, Mia thought. Mia ran home so nobody could see her. Mom, I'm home. She didn't hear anything. Then she saw Mom coming down the stairs. She had big tears in her eyes. It looked like raindrops were coming down her face. Mia, I have something to tell you. Okay, wait, let me say hello to Peanut. Where's Peanut? Mia had a shaky voice. It sounded like an earthquake. It looked like it had been raining when Mia looked at her mom's face. That's what I have to tell you. He just died. We were going on a walk, and he got off my leash and ran into the road. The car tried to stop, but they couldn't, and "No, how no," Mia yelled. She ran as fast as she could up to her room. She slammed the bedroom door and burst into tears. She had never cried this much in her whole life. 5 seconds later, she heard raindrops hitting the roof. It sounded like it was hailing ice chunks. The next day, Mia's pillow was drenched. She woke up and didn't want to do anything.
Good evening. My name is Leah Torres in 5th grade reading My Brave Avocado. Oh, Dad, ever since I was a little girl, you used to carry me in your arms. Now I'm too big. I used to sit in the car seat with a big silly smile. Now I sit in the back seat without the comfy small chair. I always look at you very bravely, but deep inside I just wish I was in your arms, sleeping. Before bed, I think about my younger self filled with laughter, joy, and a regular happy life. It was very emotional for me to know that I will only be 3 years old one time. I was only smiling because I was with you. Now that I'm older, I understand more things that you helped me go through. That's why I love you. I look at you as my hero. Bungee jumping, roller coasters, vacations, water parks, and movies. It's all about the small details that count. Calling you from Grandma's phone saying I miss you, I want you to hang out with me. Nobody can ever come between you and me. I only want to be with you. Eating all my food, brushing my teeth without you asking, making my bed, getting good grades, being the best daughter I could ever be. I always want to do what I can to make you proud. We both love avocados and you look like one. Oh, my brave avocado.
Good evening. My name is Sienna Berry, and I'm so excited to be here. I'm in 5th grade, and I'm going to read part of my poem, The Symbol of Joy. The beach always took my worries away. Something about the soft white sand beneath my feet and the homely feeling of the turquoise foamy ocean always brought me joy and kept me calm through difficult times. As I walked down the beach, memories of my aunt came rushing back to me. I stopped daydreaming and waded into the tepid water until it was up to my shoulders. A minute later, an amazingly giant wave started to rush forward. I held my breath and dove under with the giant splash. The noises of seagulls, people, and wind on the beach drowned, and those noises were replaced by a moment of silence. Through the cloudy, salty ocean water, I could see a school of tiny minnows swimming harmlessly around in spirals, and I beamed. I shot up out of the water and gulped down a bunch of air, only to notice that another wave was coming toward me. I dove under with another giant splash, but this time there was an oval shape the size of the top of a coffee table, flipping its spotted flippers in the foam of the wave. It disappeared into the sand, but suddenly, "Hi!" I screamed, and I shot up out of the ocean as quickly as possible. "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. My apologies," it said speedily, and I immediately realized that it was a talking turtle. I blinked in bewilderment. "I came to tell you that your aunt is proud of you. She loves you with all her heart," he said solemnly. A smile started to stretch across my face, but then I shook my head rapidly and raised my eyebrows. "Wait, how do you know about my aunt?" The turtle winked at me and grinned. "Oh, we turtles know everything." I smiled in gratitude, and just as I was about to reach out to him, I was pulled from the water violently, coughing. "You gave us quite a scare." And that's when I realized it was all a dream.
Good evening. My name is Leon Mansour. I'm in 6th grade and I'm excited to read my story, My First Best Friend. It was once every 2 weeks when our 6th grade book buddies would come, and at first I didn't understand. Over the year, Amelia and I got extremely close. We laughed, worked together, and made conversations. But there was just one class, the last class, that made me break out in tears. When all 6th graders came to the class, I looked around for Amelia, but I didn't see her. Then, my friend's book buddy walked up to me and gave me a card and said this. Hi, Leon. Amelia got sick and didn't feel so well, so she told me to give you this note. I felt devastated. I couldn't hold back my tears. I sobbed. I just couldn't stop. Every single eye was looking at me crying, until my friend's book buddy said, "Oh, Leon, don't cry. Me and Lily will be your buddy." I stopped crying, and I looked at her and my friend. Sniff, sniff, as I wiped my tears with my sleeve. Okay, sure. Then, for the rest of the class, me, my friend, and her book buddy sat together as we read a book. And the whole time, I had Amelia's card with me.
My name is Aiden Geddes, and I am in 4th grade. I'm going to be reading tackle football. Jack, a 10-year-old kid, wanted to play football, but his mom and dad say that he has to get better grades in school. So the next day, his teacher says that they have a test. The next day, they had to work to get prepared for the test. And Jack thought that he did well in the practice test, so he thought that he was going to do good on the actual test. That night, before he went to bed, he wrote math facts on a paper. Then after he did the math facts, he gave the paper to his dad, and his dad checked it, and he said that he got all of them correct. At the school the next day, his teacher said that they are about to start the test, so the teacher gave the students the test, and Jack said to himself that he hopes he does well on the test. After school, he told his friend, who already played tackle football, that he thinks that he did well on the test. So at home, his dad and his mom asked him, did he do well on the test? And he said he thinks he did well on the test. So the next day, his teacher gave the test to the students, and Jack flipped his paper over, and yes, I got an A, and he was so happy. So when he got home, he told his mom and dad that he got an A on his test, and his mom and dad were so happy.
So the 24 students that we had submit to the Connecticut Writing Project, these students were selected. They were noted in the Connecticut Student Writers magazine. We also had some of our artists published in this magazine, and 3 of our students' writing was published. So we really appreciate the opportunity to share this incredible writing with you. We have worked very hard on it. I hope that you can see this took weeks and months to prepare, and then to actually take a risk and put yourself out there into a statewide event, and then to have to wait. I think the waiting was probably the hardest part, right? We had to wait, and they kept asking, when's it coming? When are we going to know? And so we're just incredibly proud of these 9 students and all of the students who took the risk to enter this contest. We also would like to acknowledge our 2 teachers who were in the forefront of this amazing work. And so we had Mrs. Jill Thompson, our art teacher, who was instrumental in helping some of our students submit some of their artwork. And then we have Mrs. Mazzaferro, who was instrumental in bringing this Connecticut Writing Project to our school, and then certainly executing it with all of the students. So we'd like to give her a big thank you and a big round of applause. And Leon has something to present. It's on the back table, Leon. See it back there? Okay. We'd like to especially thank her. It is not easy to come into a space and to leave your mark, and that's our mantra this year, and we really believe that Mrs. Mazzaferro has done that for us at our school, and we are greatly indebted to her for that, so thank you. That's all that we have to present tonight. I'm not sure if anyone has any questions for our students or...
I'm going to burst if I don't thank you. This was fabulous. You know, we talk all the time up here about 21st century learners. You just showed the board and the town what we're doing with all this curriculum that we're working hard on, and with our teachers learning this curriculum, and then they learn it. I can't thank you enough for having read these with us tonight. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Anyone else? Janice?
Just also that you have a real-world opportunity to share your work is really wonderful. And your writing, I'd like to hear all of what you wrote. So I'll be looking for a copy of the magazine. They were really wonderful, and the perseverance and just the hard work that you put in to get your final product is really awesome. And I look forward to reading all of your work in the future also. Keep writing.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much, all of you.
Well done, students. Well done, students. Now, at this time, coming to the podium is Ms. Tiffany Cowett from the Connecticut Association of Schools for a presentation.
Thank you so much. How do you follow students? That is just a tough act.
Ask her to just wait till this doesn't. Oh, and everybody leaves us.
Everybody's rushing home to get that homework done.
Thank you for having me tonight. The Connecticut Association of Schools Outstanding Leadership Award is given annually to someone working in an administrative position, usually under an 092 certification, who is not a principal or assistant principal. It is a statewide award. We've been giving it for many years. And tonight, it is my great honor to be here to present the 2025 Connecticut Association of Schools Outstanding Leadership Award to a truly exceptional leader. Would Dr. Christina Zlayton please join me up at the podium? So this award is based on a nomination process with letters of recommendation from colleagues. And so I'm going to read a little bit about what was conveyed to us. In Wethersfield, Dr. Zlayton is not only led with vision and purpose, but with a deep belief in the potential of both educators and students. According to the nomination form, one of her most significant accomplishments has been the revitalization of instructional rounds. What was once met with hesitation is now embraced as a powerful professional learning tool, thanks to her thoughtful, research-based approach and commitment to building trust. She invited teachers into the process, clarified the purpose, and created a shared understanding that has directly impacted instructional practices across the district. She's the model of a lifelong learner. She actively seeks professional growth and, more importantly, brings that learning back to staff in meaningful, authentic ways. When she recently led a professional development session using strategies she had just learned herself, she didn't just teach, she inspired. She showed what it means to take risks, to lead with vulnerability, and to continually strive for excellence. Colleagues, in their letters of recommendation, described to us a generous mentor, a trusted coach, and a skilled leader whose impact resonates far beyond any single initiative. Her influence has helped shape a culture of reflection, growth, and high expectations in Wethersfield Public Schools. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Zlayton on this well-deserved recognition.
I just want to say a special thank you to Dr. Zlayton for coming tonight. And again, the work you do, while it may not be front and center, the work you do in the Wethersfield Public Schools is having a profound positive impact on our students. So thank you very much for everything you've done for this district. Now, at this point in time, we have our last staff student recognition, and we're going to recognize some retirees. So this is the one part of the year, this is, I say it every year, I get a little melancholy with this as I see people walk up who I've had the privilege and the honor of working with for many years. They have absolutely left their mark on the Wethersfield Public Schools, and we think it's important that we recognize them. So we have several staff members in attendance tonight. So first would like to recognize Mr. Jeff Mosier. Come on up, Jeff. Now, I will say, I don't write these, all right? So just remember that, I don't write these, all right? So, the one, the only, Wethersfield educating legend, Jeff Mosier, is retiring. Jeff has been teaching for 38 years, 33 of them in Wethersfield, where he's been a beacon of expertise, professionalism, kindness, and humor. Jeff Mosier is truly the best of us. Jeff grew up in Simsbury, where he was a three-sport athlete, soccer, basketball, and baseball, who competed against Wethersfield High School. And a fun fact is that one of his only goals in soccer was versus Wethersfield. Jeff graduated from Middlebury College with his BA in European History and went on to get a master's in East Asian Studies. He taught at the master's school in Simsbury for a couple of years before taking on the challenge of teaching in China for 3 years at the Henan College of Education. The start of Jeff's career in Wethersfield in 1992 was delayed by 2 days due to renovation. Now, his colleagues at Wethersfield High School wish they could delay his departure. In his 33 years at Wethersfield High School, Jeff has been the one and only AP European history teacher and has taught international studies, civics, economics, human relations, contemporary America, and contemporary world issues. He was Teacher of the Year in 2003-2004 and was a 2-time Peer Award winner. Part of Jeff's magic is his ability to connect with every student in a way that makes them feel seen and valued as an individual. He asks students about their lives outside of his classroom and shows up for them at their athletic, academic, and artistic events. Students who care little to nothing for history know that Mr. Mosier will care for them and sign up for a class just because they know he's teaching it. Jeff was as much an influence outside the classroom as he was inside the classroom. He coached boys basketball for 12 years, led students in competing on the national stage with Model UN and the Euro Challenge team. He took countless groups of students to build homes with Habitat for Humanity. And a fun fact is Jeff spent a year with Habitat in 84-85 building homes in what was then known as Zaire. He served on the faculty council for the National Honor Society. He was advisor to the Teenage Republicans and the Crossfire Prayer Group. He participated in unified sports as well. He led the staff prayer group and is the founder of the Bow Tie Tuesdays and Orange Shirt Thursdays. Our loss is his family's gain, as he looks forward to spending more time with his wife Sarah, more time at the beach and on the ski slopes, and more time for adventures with his children. Jeff Mosier is irreplaceable. We are not only losing one of our best teachers, but one of Wethersfield High School's most magnificent human beings. Jeff's incredible impact will resonate forever through the thousands of lives he has touched in what was a beautiful, remarkable career. Submitted with tremendous honor, respect, and appreciation by Kim Nemec, Social Studies Department Liaison. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jeff Mosier. If I could please have Joanne Riccardi come forward. Hi, Joanne. Joanne has been a cornerstone of Wethersfield High School since she joined the Wethersfield family in 2002. A leader both in and out of the classroom, she has played an essential role in the business department, bringing energy, innovation, and a deep commitment to student success. Throughout her career, Joanne has taught a wide range of courses, including marketing, cooperative work experience, and career preparation. She has been instrumental in developing and writing curriculum that connects classroom content to real-world applications, always striving to prepare students not just for the classroom, but for life beyond high school. Her dedication has extended far beyond the school day. Anyone passing by the second floor after hours would often see Joanne working one-on-one with students, guiding them toward excellence. Her tireless efforts produced remarkable outcomes, including Wethersfield High School earning a #1 state ranking for top scores on the standardized marketing exam multiple times. Over 15 years of leading hundreds of students to qualify for nationals at the International Career Development Conference, ICDC, through DECA, following top placements at the state level. She has multiple student finalists on the international stage as Joanne traveled across the country to give them so many students the chance to compete with peers from around the globe. Most recently, bringing her students to Orlando, Florida to compete among 25,000 other students. Joanne never took the easy road. She led by example, consistently putting her students first and holding them to high standards, which they rose to meet time and time again. Her influence has not only helped shape individual futures, but has also placed Wethersfield High School on the map in the field of business education. As Joanne embarks on her well-deserved retirement, we know her spirit of leadership and mentorship will continue to shine. Whether she's baking delicious treats for her business, Joanne's custom-designed cookies, or spending cherished time with her husband Tom, sons Sean, Brian, and Cole, and her 3 grandchildren, she will no doubt continue to inspire everyone around her. Thank you, Joanne, for your dedication, your leadership, and the legacy you leave behind. Ladies and gentlemen, Joanne Ricardo. All right, if I could please have Miss Leslie Poulos come forward. After many years of dedicated service, we celebrate the retirement of our exceptional library media specialist, whose impact on the Silas Deane Middle School community is immeasurable. With an insatiable thirst for knowledge and a passion for continued learning, she not only enriched her own practice, but generously shared her discoveries with students, staff, and families alike. A fierce collaborator with her media center counterpart, she brought innovation, energy, and heart into everything she did, from leading countless coding sessions, research classes, and writing workshops, to designing engaging library activities that brought joy to students' faces. She transformed the media center into a true hub of creativity and curiosity. Beyond the walls of the library, she ran many after-school programs and served on a variety of committees. Most recently, she stepped up as the district's teen facilitator, guiding and mentoring new teachers across Wethersfield, helping shape the next generation of educators. Always ready to lend a hand and driven by what's best for students, she exemplified dedication, compassion, and excellence. Her legacy will continue to inspire all who walk through the doors of Silas Deane Middle School. We are so grateful for her contributions and wish her the very best in her next chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, Leslie Poulos. All right, if I could please have Miss Anita Skelly come forward.
Be nice now.
I've worked with you for a long time, Anita. You know I'll be nice. Anita, thank you for joining us today as we celebrate someone very special. Anita is a person who has touched countless lives with kindness, patience, and unwavering dedication. Today we honor the retirement of Anita Skelly, a remarkable paraeducator who has been an integral part of our district. For 20 years, Anita has brought compassion and understanding to the students that she's worked with. Not one to be reserved or inhibited. She continuously advocated for her students' needs, making sure that they have everything that they need to be successful in school. Anita has supported our students not just academically but emotionally, helping them find their voices, build their confidence, and grow into their potential. Paraeducators are often the quiet heroes of our schools. They work behind the scenes, one-on-one with students who just need a little more support, more time, more compassion. And Anita, you've given all that and more. On 2 different occasions, a parent has reached out to us to have you remain with their child in the following year. This was based on the trusting relationship that you had with the student and the confidence that you instilled in her. I realized the trust that this parent had with you and her daughter, and there is no way she would accept no for an answer. Whether it was helping a student take their first independent steps in learning, building trust with a child who struggled to connect, or collaborating with teachers to ensure every child received what they needed, your impact has been deep and lasting. You've shown us that education is not only about curriculum, it's about connection. You've shown us that patience and kindness can move mountains, and you've reminded us day after day of the incredible power of simply showing up and caring. While we are so happy for you as you begin this next chapter, we will miss your presence dearly. Your laughter, your wisdom, and your warmth have been a gift to this district, and your legacy will remain in the students whose lives you've helped shape. On behalf of the entire Wethersfield community, thank you, Anita, for your years of service, for the heart you've poured into your work, and for the love you've shared with our students and staff. We wish you nothing but joy, peace, and well-earned relaxation in your retirement. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, Anita Skeller. So we have a few other retirees I definitely want to mention who were not able to be here tonight. Retiring from Charles Wright, our principal, Glenn Horter. In addition, is he back? Is he here? No, he's not. Not here. We also had from central office our Human Resources Benefits Coordinator, Amanda Del Mastro. From Charles Wright, grade 2 teacher, Kathy Zillahy. Head Secretary at Emerson Williams, Mary Lacey. The Silas Deane Middle School Curriculum IT Specialist for K-8, that's Karen Marshall, housed over at Silas Deane Middle School. Silas Deane Middle School Math Interventionist, Ann Malloy. Wethersfield High School Paraeducator, Jonna Roberge. Charles Wright Custodian, Richard Rouse. Special Services Administrative Assistant, Nadine Charette. Wethersfield High School Math Teacher, Philip Bucci. Special Services Executive Assistant, Roseanne Zadrock, and Adult Ed Secretary, Sue Marhefke. And then, again, Central Office Superintendent Michael Emmett. I'm heading out, too. So, again, just want to say a heartfelt thank you to all of our retirees and everything that you've done.
Mr. Emmett, would you mind joining me at the podium?
All right.
There's quite a few papers here. It's a really thick one. Was there a page limit? So Mr. Emmett's retiring, so we didn't want to forget him this evening. So today we honor and celebrate the remarkable career of Superintendent Michael Emmett, whose dedication and leadership have left a lasting impact on Wethersfield Public Schools. Michael began his journey in our district in 2008 as the Director of Special Services, bringing with him a passion for inclusion, student support, and educational excellence. His commitment and vision quickly elevated him to the role of Assistant Superintendent, and in 2012, he became our Superintendent, a role he has held with integrity, compassion, and unwavering dedication. Michael is not only a respected administrator, but also a beloved presence among students. Whether stopping for a picture with PJ, dressed as his twin, getting dunked in the Emerson Williams dunk tank at the Strawberry Fest, marching in the Memorial Day Parade, I think he's one of the most popular people there, visiting students in the lunchroom, or joining a pickup basketball game at Hamner. Excuse me. He has always found ways to connect with students beyond the office, reminding us all that leadership is most powerful when it's personal. As he steps into retirement, we thank Michael for his years of service, his steady guidance, and his heart for every student, teacher, and staff member in Wethersfield. His legacy will live on in the classrooms, the hallways, and the hearts of all that he has led and inspired. Congratulations, Michael. You'll be deeply missed and forever appreciated. We wish you peaceful, snowy January mornings without 3 a.m. texts and a big decision if you should cancel school or not. No more Saturday budget meetings, No more leaky school roofs. No emergency phone calls that always seem to happen on a Friday afternoon or a Sunday night. I've gotten a couple. We wish you nothing but good weather on your lanai and happy times with your family, including Sully, and of course, your future puppy. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. Oh, Michael.
All right, thank you. Now it's time for the kid chair.
Okay. So McKenna Schlenker here has been very patiently waiting, and she is a wonderful author. She goes to Hamner School, 6th grader, and as a young writer, she has a unique voice, and she motivates and can inspire other children. Congratulations on being the Kid Chair essay winner, and keep writing, keep dreaming, and keep shining. McKenna, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Thank you. Have you ever thought about how you can help your school community or help your town in various ways? Well, luckily, I have a chance to write an essay for the Kid Board of Education Chair. I would like to be my school's Kid Board of Education Chair because I would like to help Wethersfield. Not only do I want to help the community and schools of Wethersfield, I also want to participate in this because I would like to make some improvements to the learning communities. You might be asking yourself, what kinds of improvements would I make to schools in Wethersfield? Well, in just a minute, you'll find out what my ideas are to help the curriculum in Wethersfield. First off, I want to talk about the school cafeterias. First of all, in my school, there are no recycling bins in the cafeteria. Strangely enough, the only bin that we have is a giant yellow trash bin that comes around the cafeteria every day to collect the trash. I think that in schools, kids from kindergarten to 4th grade should learn about recycling, and that there should be recycling bins in our school cafeterias. If kids know enough about recycling at a young age, they can help the planet for as long as they know how to help. Recycling is helping our environment, and landfills are hurting it. So I believe that if we recycle, one day we can change the world. Something else that we need are more options for lunch. One of my friends is gluten-free, and she has to bring lunch from home every day. If we had a wider range of food in the cafeteria, people with allergies like hers can order school lunches and not worry about their allergies. Another thing about school lunches is that not only does it need a wider variety of food, the food has to be better tasting if we want to enjoy our lunches. Lunch is a time of day where students can sit and have time to talk to one another and eat. But lunch isn't always the most enjoyable time because of the food. One of my friends, Aubrey, had ordered her muffin from school. She took a bite and found a grub in the muffin. This is unsanitary and unhealthy. Imagine if she had eaten that grub. It would have been even worse. The meat inside our chicken sandwiches are gray, and the food can get soggy from sitting inside the kitchen all day. Lastly, it needs to be more healthy for you. Chocolate muffins and chocolate milk aren't really cutting it. Last year, I had to do a research paper on if I wanted to keep chocolate milk in schools. I, one of 2 people, said no. Yes, a lot of kids like chocolate milk and will refuse to buy white milk. But in white milk, it has 11 grams of sugar, and that sugar is natural. Chocolate milk, on the other hand, has 22 grams of sugar, and 11 grams of that is added sugar. Kids shouldn't drink that on a daily basis. Plus, the cafeteria doesn't serve water. It's either bend over the water fountain or bring a water bottle. People should have the ability to have a bottle of water if they didn't bring one to school or forgot that day. I would also like more field trips for the schools. Usually, grades K through 5 have 1 or 2 field trips per year. The 6th graders have more. I remember in younger grades, I used to dream about being in 6th grade because they had so many field trips. I think, going with the lessons that students are learning, the students help pick what field trips they want to go on. I know that the field trips have to be at least a little bit educational, but why not have some fun to go along with the things to do with learning? Like, the 5th graders get to go to the Connecticut Science Center each year, and it's super fun, but also educational. I think that each grade level can cast their own vote on what field trip they would like to take this year. They usually do the same activities every year, and if you have an older sibling that would tell you what your field trips will be, it kind of ruins the surprise. If they get to choose, they know that their vote matters, and it will be a surprise no matter what wins the most votes. The teachers can choose what options there are for the field trip that goes along with the lessons that they are teaching, and it can be more fun and not just educational every time. I know that there isn't enough money to provide more field trips for younger grades, and the 6th graders have fundraisers to provide money. So, I want to suggest fundraisers, not only for the 6th grade, but for all the grades. Better field trips, better moods. I think a curriculum improvement that schools need is more exposure to state and country level writing contests in grades 4 through 6. I remember the 5th grade teachers introduced us to 2 state level competitions last year, and it was so fun to try to compete to see how far you would get. You don't have to win when you sign up, and it doesn't have to be mandatory, but it would be a fun writing activity for kids who would like to compete in a competition. They can even have a school-wide contest where people can send essays or stories to their teachers, and one of the writing teachers would decide who would win each month for the schools. In conclusion, I would like to be picked as my school's Kid Board of Education chair because I have ideas that can really help schools in Wethersfield. My ideas are recycling bins in the cafeterias, more options for lunch, healthier lunches, more field trips and choices for schools, and more exposure to writing contests in the state and country. Having these ideas are just a reason to help your community, school, and town in being successful and happy later in life. With a good education, we can achieve those things, starting with elementary schools and kids like me within them.
She's awesome. And I also want to mention, we got to spend the whole morning together because the kid mayors and the kid chairs, we went up to the legislative office building in the Capitol to see the close workings of our Connecticut legislation. We were invited and the students were introduced to our House by Representative Amy Bello, and we were welcomed by the Speaker of the House, Matt Ritter. We then moved on to the Senate chambers, which we liked a lot. We liked those. And had our state senator, Matt Lesser, talk to the kid mayor and chairs about what business happens there and also about his path to becoming a state senator. A tour of the Capitol was also part of our morning with its many statues and stories about our beautiful state capitol. It was a wonderful day for Ken Lesser, myself, and our kid mayor and chair and their parents. We had a wonderful time. And thank you for everything today. That was great. Thank you. Another round of applause. Okay. Great. All right. Next on tonight's agenda is the approval of minutes for our regular Board of Ed meeting on May 13th. May I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay on it? So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Those minutes are approved. We have 2 special Board of Ed meetings on May 19th, 2025. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussions on this? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Those minutes are approved. And the second special Board of Ed meeting on May 19th, may I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Okay, a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Those minutes are approved. All right, and is there anyone wishing to make a public comment? Come on up to the podium and state your name and address. And may I remind you that you have a limit of 5 minutes. And another reminder, board members do not make comments immediately following a resident speaking at the podium. Thank you for your understanding. Goodbye, McKenna, you were great. Okay, let's move on. Mr. Emmett, you have some communications to share?
I do. Thank you, Mrs. Granado. Good evening again, everyone. We are in the home stretch of our school year. So last day of school for students is Monday, June 16th, 2025. It is a minimum school day. We are currently preparing for our graduation ceremony for the class of 2025. That'll happen on June 10th at 6 o'clock. The weather forecast right now, it's still way far out. So scattered thunderstorms, 40% chance, but it will change during that time. But we are looking at it. We are preparing, getting ready to honor the class of 2025. Tonight, there are a large number of action items before you, certainly one of which is the approval of the operating budget. Last Friday, I prepared a document for you in terms of how we would allocate the funding that we received from council. We certainly did not get everything we were looking for. However, we are able to save all of our positions, including the social work position. We are also able to continue to carry out the important work of the ACAP program. We will continue to move forward in bringing Agile Minds, board-approved math curriculum for 7th through 12. With remaining funding, we are looking with the preschool. We know we need preschool support, so we'll be looking at bringing in a part-time speech pathologist or a contract to provide speech and language services for our preschool program. So at least we get our foot in the door with that. In addition to tonight's action items, the approval of the Board of Ed meeting dates, that was withdrawn at the last meeting. Before you this evening is the standard second and fourth Tuesday of the month. Again, as Mr. Whitby becomes superintendent and takes over on July 1st, my expectation would be you'll talk through the Policy and Planning Committee to make any adjustments moving forward. In addition to that, there is a recommended motion for the approval of the optional administration of the Youth Voices Count Survey for 25-26. This is obviously something that we have done in years past and has been instrumental in giving us the data that we need to secure grants. So that's before you this evening as well. And then the Student Programs and Services Committee was very busy last week, as you'll see by the action items. I also want to say, as I wrap up communications tonight, how humbled I was tonight standing up at the podium, kind of being on the other side. It has been an honor and a privilege to work with all of you here in this town. I marched, and I think it was my 14th or 15th Memorial Day parade on Saturday, and as I walked through the streets, I was overwhelmed at just the American feel, the Americana. This is such a wonderful small town, and it has many treasures. And certainly I can think of about 3,600 treasures, our students. So again, thank you very much. And I also want to give a special shout out to Angelica Data, who, for all intents and purposes, this is your last one, because the next meeting we have on June 24th, you'll be a graduate. You'll be on your way. Angelica, I have known since she moved into town. We talked a little bit about it at the last board meeting back in your early days at Emerson Williams. And I can remember you were an essay award winner. You have won all kinds of awards and accolades. You were one of multiple students last week at the high school awards and scholarships. I lost count at the number of times you got up and walked across the stage. Mm-hmm. So you are what Wethersfield is all about. You are an exceptional student, and I cannot wait to see what you do in the future. The future is bright. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for Angelica Davis. And that's communications. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, tonight we do have many action items that were discussed and moved forward for a vote tonight at our Student Program and Services. So let's get started. Matt, would you please read recommended motion 6A?
Yep. Thank you, Bobby. So action item 6A, I move that the Wethersfield Board of Education approve the operating budget for the 25-26 school year in the amount of $67,468,339.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, discussion?
Hi, Bobby. I just wanted to say I appreciate all the efforts that go into pulling this budget together, but I would be remiss if I did not bring up the fact that I'm concerned that we were not able to get any security guards for our schools. You know, especially with the school project, hopefully, you know, embarking on 27. We do live in an environment, we live in a world where safety is of the utmost concern, and I am very concerned that we were not able to get approval for security guards for our elementary schools. We do have presence at the high school and the middle school, but there's a reason we're doing our schools over. And one of them is to provide more safety, so not to equip our schools with the security guards that we were looking for is concerning, and I hope that that can change in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for those comments. Any other discussions?
I just want to thank everyone for all their work during the budget workshops, and it was a lot of work, and it was really interesting. I just love the information I got from the principals, and I really appreciate them coming out to one of the meetings to explain their needs and just getting a kind of full world understanding of what, you know, the needs in different schools. It's unfortunate we couldn't meet those needs for this budget, but I would like to say that we did raise the budget. Like, we got, I think, over $2.5 million extra from, you know, compared to last year. And most of that goes to salaries and benefits and, like, you know, things like that are increasing. But next year is going to be the same, you know, increase of almost 3%. And I think there's a structural issue when it comes to the state and how we fund education in the state. The town manager mentioned that in his last proposed budget, where we have to really look at towns like Wethersfield. How do we continue to try to fund all our needs when you have so little extra money that's coming in, because we're not really growing our tax base and the different issues that are there. And we keep talking about this every year, but I just feel like no one's listening, or at the state legislature, they really need to look at structural changes, because we have needs and we wanted to meet those needs, whether it was another social worker, definitely another special ed teacher, which we're not going to be able to meet that need, security guards, whatever, the funding just wasn't there. But we did add almost $3 million to the budget, but that money, it gets taken up by a lot of other things. So I just wanted to, you know, kind of put that out there, and how it's always going to be a struggle until something actually really changes in how we change the funding of the state when it comes to education, especially special education.
Thank you, Marjorie. Matt?
Yep, thank you, Bobby. So I also want to thank you all for your work on this budget this year. What we asked for and what we got seems like worlds apart, but I feel like we're going to be able to manage with what we currently have, and we're hoping to end the school year with a surplus, which is also a good thing. I agree with the points that were made by Liz and by Marjorie. I also wanted security guards. We all wanted security guards, whether they were 3 or 5, we wanted some. I also agree that the state, and maybe even at the federal level, there needs to be a little reevaluation of how local school board budgets are funded. Some sort of tax reform would help us considerably, considering that we're a town in Connecticut that is predominantly paying for the things that we're doing in this town with homeowners. We have a small commercial tax base. I feel like that there could be some sort of reevaluation considered at the state level in terms of tax reform, if you will. I also feel that there were 2 other factors at play that prevented the town from funding us as fully as they wanted to, and that's the reevaluation of the real estate and the impending referendum. I feel like the town council, while they were in they were caught between a rock and a hard place. They do want to fund education, yes, but they are also thinking of all the other residents in town. Not everybody can afford a 4.5% increase. They were thinking of that. They gave us what they felt was responsible, not just to the school board, but also to every taxpayer. And I thank them for their work on the budget as well. So that's all I have to say about the budget.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you for the comments. I do agree with everyone. A suggestion would be to begin the process a little bit earlier, and I've mentioned this before, but we need to start thinking about that, because money talks, and to have town council at the table with us, because to start it in January or even later, it's too late, and we need the time to figure that out. I mean, it's just a suggestion, but it's better than just saying, like what Marjorie said. It's true. We need to figure it out.
Thank you. Okay, we all set for a vote then? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? That motion passes. Thank you, everyone. 6B, Matthew, would you read that one too?
Ms. Bobby, I move that the Wethersfield Board of Education approve the attached proposed schedule of the regular Board of Education meetings for the 2025-2026 school year.
All right. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, discussions.
I just wanted to mention that I'm glad that the amount of meetings was increased. With those in place, we can always do away with some if they're not necessary. So appreciate that.
Great. Thank you. There is one idea out there that we are starting to work with, is that we don't have opportunities to get young people with very young families up here. And we thought that perhaps if we consolidated some of our meetings, then we wouldn't have so many nights that these young parents had to be out. That's really one of the big reasons behind this push, because we really do want a board of our contemporaries in town. Okay.
Bobby, I have one comment.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would also like to comment on that as well. While I am going to vote yes to approve this schedule, I also feel that we should possibly, moving forward, consider a slightly reduced amount of Board of Education meetings throughout the school year. Between the Board of Ed meetings and the committee meetings and the budget workshops and everything else that we do up here, John, with the building, everybody up here is going to a lot of different things on a weekly and monthly basis. And you're right, Bobby, I think that to encourage more people to be able to run and be involved with less of a time burden of meetings, it may be wise to analyze the amount of meetings that we're having and possibly consider a different approach.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, let's have a vote on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is approved. And we'll go on to 6C. Matthew?
6C, I move that the Board of Education approve the administration of the Youth Voices Count Survey for the 2025-2026 school year.
A second?
Second.
Anyone? No?
Jim got it. Second.
Michael, do you have any discussion? We do this every year. Is anyone going to come up? Yes? Come on up.
Just a real quick synopsis would be great. They've been here.
Oh, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Good evening, Board of Ed. Thank you for having us. I am Carissa Peckrell. I'm the Prevention Coordinator for the town of Wethersfield. I was up here a couple of months ago asking for the proposed administration of the adult community survey that went out. That was very successful throughout the town and gave us really great data on prevention work that needs to be done and where we can improve on that. This proposal is to administer the Youth Voices Count survey for grades 7 through 12 for the 2025-2026 school year. And this provides really great data for us. It is a grant-funded survey that we give, but it also provides prevention efforts through the Drug-Free Communities Grant. So we are just finishing up year 5 of the Drug-Free Communities Grant. We applied for year 6 through 10, and we will hear about that hopefully in September, about whether or not we were awarded that grant, but this Youth Voices Count survey would really help with future grant funding. So I have Bonnie Smith, who will introduce herself too. She was also here at the last meeting and can talk a little bit about the survey in detail.
Hi, everybody. Hello again. I know many of you through being a town resident. I always say when I come to Wethersfield, it's very unusual that I get to see friends and neighbors in this work. So our survey, Youth Voices Count, is offered throughout the state of Connecticut and now West Virginia. So we are working to make sure that towns have the data that they need to provide services around mental health, substance misuse, and related risk factors through youth serving and human service organizations. So the data certainly benefits the school and other community partners, but generally we are partnering, just like in this case, with youth services. So we always make sure that when we present the data, that it is known that it is a representation of youth in the community, and that the school is just a great partner in helping us ensure we have a really great sample. So I know we've worked many times around the Youth Voices Count survey here in Wethersfield, and it's gone into some really great grant applications. I believe the State Department of Ed was one great successful grant that Sally wrote. So I can answer any questions you'd like. There are a few minor modifications from the 2023 version of the survey to 2025. Those were driven actually by other public health and prevention folks who are my peers, as well as youth, many of which were from Wethersfield through the Summer Youth Employment Program, helped ensure that our modified language was meeting their needs. That's really the point of the survey, is that we are hearing youth, and we're trying not to use academic speak. So let me know if you have any questions, of course, and that's what we're here for.
I have a comment. You have come every year and done this, and then we get the results later in the year. I have to tell you, as a mom, a grandma, and a former teacher, you almost don't know what's going on out there if you watch the news, because it just startles you. Mm-hmm. So I like to know really what's going on in our little world here, and that's the data that you give us. So I'm so appreciative of knowing good, bad, and different here in Wethersfield. So thank you.
Great. I'm happy, Bobby, that you see that, because it's not usually a lot of bad news. And anything that's of concern, that's where we bring in all those community partners. And of course, Youth Services is here for that.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
I was just going to make a comment. Yeah, I want to thank you both, Chris and Bonnie, for your work on this. I'm always interested to see the results of the studies and how things have changed throughout the years. I've only been up here for 4 years, but I feel like everything changes slightly when you do your presentations, and I see how things are moving. Hopefully I'm up here for another 4 years so I can see how they look in 4 more years.
They get better.
Yeah, I was actually surprised by some of the results. Things aren't as bad as people may make them out to be in terms of how the youth are acting. But yeah, anything that's going to contribute to grants that will ultimately further the overall well-being of the youth in our town, I can get behind. I support. We appreciate.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that we see often with the students is using that strengths-based approach when it comes to data, is they realize that, oh, maybe it isn't the majority of our peers that are, using substances, and it really does kind of provide an opportunity for peer-to-peer messaging about substance misuse, about mental health and wellness, and that's just something I've seen firsthand this year going into lunch waves and presenting during, National Prevention Week and all of those things too.
Okay. We're all set then for a vote? Oh, go ahead, Liz.
I want to say thank you as well. I remember being surprised at the data that we got back right after COVID regarding the anxiety levels. I was expecting, something much higher, and I think it's so valuable to get, I don't know if you would say it's not the same cohort, but it's, similar data that you're looking at time over time, and it, like you said, it does help us to see the progression. And I see such value in it. Thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you. And I'm happy to say that in our aggregate data set, because we do merge all the data, the depression and anxiety, you see that peak around 2020, and we're watching it go down. So Wethersfield will have their own data to hopefully demonstrate the same.
Yes. All set then? Okay, let's take a vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is approved. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for coming out. Thanks. Okay, Matt, you're done. Okay. Recommended motion 6D. Jim, would you read that for us, please?
Certainly. Recommend a motion that we approve the new curriculum for Health 6, Health 7, and Health 8.
Okay. Can I have a second?
Second.
All right. Discussion.
Yes, thank you. So the health curriculum is so important for our youth, and it's also important for parents to know what is being taught to your children. And one of the things I'd like to thank our assistant superintendent and the curriculum team for is adding the definitions in Unit 3, which is the physical health and puberty section. I asked for definitions to be added with regard to cisgender, transgender, gender non-binary, gender identity, and gender expansive. And the reason I asked for that is so that when parents are aware of what is being taught to the kids at school, the language, the talking points, then they can use the same language if they so choose at home with their children so that there's more consistency. You know, I think that any of these topics are very personal and parents get to decide, obviously, you know, what they will discuss with their kids. But by adding this, it keeps everyone on the same page. It gives them the opportunity to do so. So I thank you for that.
And the correct information, always.
Yes,
That's important.
yes.
Thank you, Liz. Janice?
Yes, and that may reassure parents who are thinking that they'd like to opt out. Maybe the more information they have, the more comfortable they feel. This is a 1/4 time period for each of these classes, and they have been updated to match the new state standards. But yes, I think, you know, parents always have the option to opt out with their child, but again, the more information that's out there, maybe the more comfortable they'll be with it. Certainly is an important topic.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, let's take a vote on this. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? That motion passes. And Jim, would you go on to do motion 6E?
Recommend that the approval of new curriculum for anatomy and physiology.
Okay, can I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
No, I don't want to go on about every single course, but I'll just say that one thing that stood out for me with this course is how hands-on it really is. I think it's an elective. I think the students will really enjoy it being presented in that way.
Okay. All right, let's move on to our voting. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? That motion passes. And Jim, we're going to continue with motion 6F.
Recommended motion approval of new curriculum, meteorology.
Cool, huh? A second?
Second.
All right, discussion. Janice, give us a sentence.
No, I don't want to.
And we've just started this list.
I'm jealous.
I think it's self-explanatory, but again, you know, it's hands-on and a lot of fun. So,
Thanks, Janice. All right, we'll take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Any abstention? That motion passes. And we're going to move on. Marjorie, would you read motion, got to make sure I'm all right here, 6G?
Okay. I move that the Wethersfield Board of Education approve a new curriculum of CCSU CETH 110, Introduction to Theater.
Okay, a second?
Second.
All right, and Janice, this is interesting because now Central Connecticut's also involved in our graduate classes, our courses, I should say, for college grads.
yes,
College
it's
credit.
really a wonderful addition that I believe Sally Destoli facilitated. They're less expensive and they're more local for the students. And in this one, they are really reading, viewing, responding to all different kinds of plays. And it's a really good avenue for language arts.
This is great, all the credit they get. This is wonderful. All right, let's vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is approved. And Marjorie, would you read 6H?
Sure. I move that the Wethersfield Board of Education approve new curriculum, theater, and performing arts.
Okay, a second?
Second.
Did you give me a second? Thank you. Discussion.
This does focus on acting and performance. It's a one-semester class. That's all I have
That's
to
good.
say.
That's fine. Okay, we'll take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is approved. And we're going to go on to 6I. And Marjorie?
Okay,
We got the theater ones.
I move that the Wethersfield Board of Education approve new curriculum, Shakespearean Studies.
Good. A second?
Second.
Discussion.
This is another one-semester English elective. They go into the life of Shakespeare to better understand his perspective in writing his plays,
Okay.
among other things.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstention? That motion is approved. And we're going to go on to 6J. Would you, John, read that for us?
Sure. Recommend the Wethersfield Board of Education approve new curriculum, advanced video production.
Second.
Second, thank you. Discussion.
This is highly technical, very technical. They learn about telling a story with their video, doing like news reports. They really get into journalism.
Okay, so let's, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is approved. And let's go on to recommended 6K.
Recommend the Wethersfield Board of Education approve new curriculum for video game development.
This is
Second.
interesting. A second, please?
Second.
All right. Discussion.
This is also a one-semester course. I think it would be really appealing to an awful lot of students. And they may be surprised at how technical and intricate it is to develop these video games. But it certainly would be a response to, I think, a high interest.
I want to say something real quick, Bobby. I just want to appreciate the fact that our curriculum seems to be mirroring what kids are into, like socially, not just academically, because I feel like the advanced video productions, the video game development, electronic music production, as well as the theater stuff, these are things that keep kids interested, and it will keep them coming to school and engaged and enjoying coming to school. I appreciate all of these.
Right. Okay. All right, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstention? That motion is approved. 6L. John, you're still on.
Recommend the Wethersfield Board of Education approve new curriculum, electronic music production.
That's cool. All right, a second.
Second.
And discussion.
This is a great alternative to music for students who aren't necessarily into the singing and playing instruments. And just as a personal note, my daughter taught it for 6 years at Suffield High School. Students really, really do enjoy it.
Great. That's good. All right, anyone else? Let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is approved. Christina, would you read motion 6M for us?
I move that the Wethersfield Board of Education approve the Wethersfield new curriculum conceptual crafts.
Okay, second.
Second.
Discussion?
This is a one-semester introductory to visual arts. It introduces the students to traditional and contemporary craft tools and techniques, and they also get into the cultures that surround different crafts.
Okay, we'll vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is approved. And continue, Christina, with 6N.
Yeah. I move that the Wethersfield Board of Education approve the Wethersfield High School and SDMS new curriculum, French 1 curriculum.
A second?
Second.
And discussion.
Okay, French 1 is currently only offered at Silas Deane Middle School. It is spread through 7th and 8th grade. It has been redone to make sure that it aligns with Year 1 expectations across all the language courses.
Okay, so we'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Merci, that motion is approved. And we'll go on to, and now we have Liz. Would you read recommended motion 6-0 or 6-0?
I'd be happy to. I move that the Wethersfield Board of Education approve the new curriculum for General Music A.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion.
This course is designed to deepen students' understanding and appreciation of music. They have the opportunity to learn about music history and literacy and explore different instruments.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is approved. And now 6P, Liz?
I move that the Wethersfield Board of Education approve the new curriculum for English Language Arts 7.
That's great. Second?
Second.
And discussion.
This course, along with English Language Arts Grade 8, are really very comprehensive. They have everything from the mechanics of writing and reading to literature, how to approach text, fiction and nonfiction, vocabulary. It just seems like a really rigorous course for this age level, and that the students should be well prepared for 9th grade English language arts in high school.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is approved. And Janice, you're going to do double duty now. You're going to do 6Q.
I move to, what was the wording?
That's more legit.
Okay. Move to approve the English Language Arts 8.
Okay, a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Already done.
Yeah, all right, okay. Let's go right on to voting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? That motion passes. Janice, motion 6R.
Okay, I move to, that the Board of Ed, Wethersfield Board of Ed, approve the textbook adoption of the CCSU CE 210 Personal Finance. This is the textbook that is, let's see, I believe it is used in the course at the college. It's required by Central Connecticut.
Right.
Second.
This is another CCSU. Yep. Any other discussion? Go ahead.
I did want to say that I appreciate the early college experience that students have for financial reasons, and also just to give them that taste of a college level course. So we're doing a really nice job of doing that. And the textbook also has 2 options for money savings, which is really appreciated by central office in the curriculum. Specialists who were writing the curriculum. So they're looking at different options. I really appreciate both.
Great. Thank you. Good point. All right, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Was it 6R? Yes, 6R passes. 6S, and we have Matt. You're on again.
I move that the Wethersfield Board of Education approve the textbook adoption for ECE Yukon, MUSI 1003, Popular Music and Diversity in American Society.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion?
This is only available as a digital text, but it includes a variety of multimedia features and really supports student understanding.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstention? That motion passes. And then we're going to go on to motion 6T. Matt?
I move that the Wethersfield Board of Education approve the textbook adoption for AP U.S. Government and Politics.
Wait, a second?
Second.
All right, discussion.
This textbook was chosen by the teachers for AP U.S. Government and Politics because it aligns with the AP exam so well and has very relevant and very up-to-date content.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is approved. And we're done. Thank you very much, everyone. That was great. And Janice, thank you for your comments. Your committee is wonderful with all the work they do and get done.
We enjoy
Okay.
it.
So we're going to put John on the seat again there for the, oh, wait a minute. We got it. Okay. For the Advisory School Building Committee update. John?
Sure. The small update today, I'd like to first thank the town council on their meeting last Monday for approving the motions that this board approved for our meeting prior, which does allow Superintendent Emmett to go ahead and apply for those grants, and that process is in progress. A lot of work going into that, obviously leading up to June 16th, which is the big day where Town Council will set the referendum date. I'm certainly not alone waiting for that day to come. And so that's really it for now. We'll meet again as an advisory school building committee once that date has passed. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, John. What a lot of work this is. It's truly a Herculean effort here. Okay, meetings held. Human Resource and Personnel Committee. Christina?
Yeah, I gave an update last time because it was the same day. So I already did the update, but I have updates for SDMS later for PAC.
Community and Public Relations Committee. Marjorie?
Yes, we got together last week and mainly talked about the May newsletter and the draft that was created, and that was approved. Lots of things happening. It was hard to actually pin down just a few things because you could fill like 500 pages with what's happening in May and all the accolades and all the great activities people are doing in these schools. And then we finalized the communications plan for a 3-year plan of all the different topics we want to kind of look at, maybe improve on, or just keep looking back to make sure we're doing it right. Different ideas, and we discussed waiting till the new superintendent starts, and maybe he can give also his input before we send it to the full board. And then we also talked about and finalized the Seeds of Civility document that is hopefully going to be just a reminder of code of conduct for people as they interact with us at meetings or the town council or with parents and teachers, and just with town employees overall. And each other, and we're sending that to a couple members of the town council to look at and see if they have comments, and we'll maybe take that up by the fall. And that was it.
Thank you. And then we had 2 special meetings of the Board of Ed, and they were to work on confidential student matter. We'll move on to student program and services. I think she said a lot tonight already. Janice?
Oh, it was a long meeting, but very enjoyable. I enjoyed reading this wide range of curricula in preparation for our meeting last week. Students are offered opportunities to develop their technical as well as comprehension skills as they reach for higher levels of critical thought and interaction with their subject matter and their community. While in many cases choosing courses might not result in a career course, students are expanding their knowledge and understanding of how all the pieces fit together in their future world. This provides them with a background and many resources for becoming problem solvers, innovators, and creators in general. Just really quite a bit of wonderful things for the students to become involved in. We did hear of this school improvement report from the middle school and from the high school, and these are online. People can look at them at any time, but just a couple of highlights. At Silas Deane Middle School, for their equity goal, and I'm reading some of what I'm saying is right from the minutes that Sally Distoli was kind enough to do. Diversity teams for equity have promoted several cultural events and have participated in community events, including the BIPOC Community Fair. In achievement, a committee is working on a capstone vision that measures transferable skills found in our vision of a graduate, just like our 11th grade capstone. The 8th grade capstone will be in the form of a portfolio of student learning. For empathy, students have been taking the lead in student council, the SDMS Access Club, and by facilitating circle conversations and restorative practices. And that was there's, as I said, you can see more of it online. For Wethersfield High School and for empathy, the focus has been on the We Connect time to ensure the wide variety of student needs are met. Staff has worked to create internship opportunities, and interventions are being developed for targeted needs. And it's pretty extensive. It's really very, very impressive, all the work that's being done. And in achievement, work has been done to provide more CTE, technical education opportunities. And also pre-calculus students were able to take the AP exam. Members of the math department presented at the Atomic Conference, which is a huge math teacher conference. The social studies and science departments have collaborated to provide activities where students learn to think like scientists and historians. And in the World Language Department, 40 students earned the seal of biliteracy. So I thought that was really impressive. And that's just touching on all of these things. It's really remarkable to be at the meeting and hear all of these amazing things, all the hard work that everybody's putting in. We also heard from Brittany Solani, the Wethersfield High School teacher, special ed teacher, and Kayla Evans. They talked about life skills in transition to adulthood. They gave us an overview of the Adaptive Life Skills Program, and a student came to present on different jobs that students take on to further develop their employability skills while helping the school community. And I wrote down coffee cart, because that was the job that I really heard. Coffee cart for the teachers. I just thought that was wonderful.
Our priorities right.
Pardon?
So we have our priorities
Yes.
right, yeah.
Students from the middle school, high school, and the Transition Academy collaborate on student-led projects, and students also participate in unified sports, which we've seen that curriculum in that presentation before, which is wonderful. So for these high school students, transitions to the Transition Academy is eased by all of this collaboration, and it's also eased for students transitioning from the middle school to the high school.
Janice, thank you. You are so detailed with this committee as you go into the committee and as you come out and explain everything to us. Thank you.
Well, as I always say, too, is the teachers and the administrators put so much work into it and making sure that they're really giving us the correct information and extensive information, answering all the questions that they have to in the forms. The least we can do is review it very carefully.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And Matt, you're on for our Finance Committee meeting.
It's been a long day. I could use a coffee cart right now. So the Finance and Operations Subcommittee met prior to tonight's Board of Ed meeting. We discussed our current year budget, which is currently under budget by a relatively significant amount. It's money that we will be able to put to good use if we still have it, and that is primarily thanks to the increased excess cost money provided from the state. So thank you to the state legislators and Governor Lamont. We discussed next year's school budget, which we've already discussed a little bit up here tonight, of an increase of 3.9%. It's definitely not everything that we need or everything that we want, but we're going to take it and we're going to work with it. We're going to do what we can. And finally, hopefully, we will have some sort of a surplus at the end of this school year, which we will then have to have another meeting to decide what to do with it. Meetings on meetings, so to be determined.
Okay, thank you. All right, yes.
We had decided we would put the WEC. I forgot to mention it to you, but
Go ahead.
I had put that off till this meeting to tell
Okay.
about it, and I'll just make it really quick. One of the key topics of our WEC meeting was the growing concern over the negative impact of cell phone use on our young people. The group explored how we as a community can support parents in reducing screen time and fostering more engaged, present, and interactions with their children. So this important conversation will continue at future meetings, and along with that, the current PEP cohort will be hosting a family play event on June 12th, 2025 at the Wethersfield Farmers Market. So all community members are welcome to attend and join in the fun. And so they're just looking for opportunities to be where people are, to bring play out to them. At the state level, Governor Lamont continues to emphasize early childhood as a top priority, with a particular focus on increasing access to child care and preschool. So WEC is actively engaged in conversation to explore how these incentives will be implemented locally, because there are some pretty major changes happening. And just, I didn't want to mention quickly that the parent ambassadors are going to be, forming the multilingual parent influencers, trying to get some of the parents to become multilanguage influencers. And the responsibilities of them would be participating in meetings and trainings, collaborating with parent ambassadors, engaging and supporting families, meeting families where they are, identifying barriers to information, sharing information, and hosting a community cafe. So that's kind of an expansion of the PEP and the ambassadors looking for influencers.
They have a lot planned, too.
Yes.
Very, very,
quite
very
a
good.
lot, yes.
Okay. All right, is there anyone wishing to make a public comment? Please come on up to the podium and state your name and address. And may I remind you that there is a 5-minute limit. Okay, are there any board comments? Go ahead, Matt.
You can go if you want.
Oh, go ahead.
All right.
Don't
I just wanted to voice my appreciation for all of the retirees tonight, as well as the students that were recognized for their accomplishments and their work in the district. I didn't want to slow down tonight's long meeting by saying this while it was all going on, but I hope that they feel appreciated. Specifically, the individual two to my right, sitting front and center at this meeting tonight, you are included in that, Michael. Not only do we appreciate all the other retirees' work in this district, but we appreciate yours immensely as well. We're grateful for your time here. We thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Janice?
Excuse me. I went to the SpongeBob SquarePants show at Webb.
That without laughter, okay.
And the students were wonderful, and we had seen a little preview at the board meeting beforehand, and SpongeBob, the little guy there, he certainly is SpongeBob. He did a great job. Really, really, they all did. He was wonderful. And I also went to the awards ceremony on Wednesday night, and I can't underline enough that it was almost like the Angelica show. I don't know how many times she was up and down, but to all of our students who won awards and all of our students who work hard every day, congratulations and thank you for all you do.
Okay.
Oh, and also the AP Art Show. That was amazing.
Okay, thank you. So, Christina?
Yeah, before getting here, I went to the SDMS PAC meeting, and like the kids here suggested, there's going to be a bunch of field trips going on at SDMS. Crimson went on May 21st, the Orange team went on May 27th, and Green on May 29th. The field days on June 2nd. They're looking for parent volunteers. 8th grade field trip to Lake Compounds June 5th, and the dance. Then graduations in 3 different dates. Turquoise is June 11th, Magenta is June 12th, and Indigo is June 13th. A couple parents asked why are the graduations separate, and it's to make sure that it's personalized, organized. The parking is difficult there at the school, but it's kind of nice to have that personalized touch. They're trying to do a really nice job of making it short, making it earlier in the morning, so that way parents can go to work. There's no perfect time for graduation, so that was a big concern. But the SDMS PAC officers work really hard, and if parents can just get involved, it just helps.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Yes.
Oh, Jim.
On May 16th, I went to the band banquet, and it was a very nice event. Mike was there squeezing us in between the other 5 events he had to go to that evening, so that was nice. I went on May 21st to the awards and scholarship where my daughter got a book club award, and of course I did try to keep count, but I couldn't either. I think it was 5 or 6 trips for Angelica, but I kind of lost count at the end.
It was wonderful.
So congratulations to you. Great job. and also the Memorial Day Parade. I walked with the band. Thank you.
Okay. Marjorie?
I just wanted to talk about the Yukon PEP graduation. That was a week and a half ago, I think, and I attended that. And I just love that, the PEP graduation, because each graduate has to give a speech, and they just, most of the time, the theme is how glad they did that program and how they might have been a little hesitant to do it. It's a leap of faith, starting an 8-week program, Thursday nights, not sure what to expect, but also connection. Like these graduates connected. They're all moms this time, they're all women. And sometimes being a parent is very isolating, or you're new to the town and you haven't met anybody. And for a lot of them, coming together and getting to know each other, and going through the different workshops, and also planning what they're about to do, which is some really great things. As new community leaders, I was really, really happy to hear from them and hear about all the things that they had done, and very emotional. And I just want to also thank you, Michael. I'm sure we're going to thank him again, but for all his work and efforts and all these years being our superintendent. And I also want to thank, I know we're not going to meet before the graduation, and I just want to say to all the graduates out there, congratulations. It's been working very hard, and your time has come. So congrats, and I wish for good weather.
Yes. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I'd just like to mention, too, the awards ceremony, and it was an awesome night for you, Angelica. But you know what really impressed me? I mean, the students always impress me. How many scholarships are given by Wethersfield residents to our students? And some of them are substantial. It just shows you that they do have, people in town have tremendous faith in our school system, and that's why we do work so hard for those people and especially for our students. Angelica, we'll get to you in a minute. Also, I want to mention we had our last Keen on Kids meeting for the year, and I won't go over everything, but Caroline was here about a meeting ago. It is just an amazing feat, and what I wanted to bring up was their fundraising, because this is a huge piece of Keen. They had a successful golf tournament just recently. They have a walk and run, and they've combined it with Laura's Garden on June 8th. And the carnival is in the fall, and that's where they get a large chunk of money. So please check the Keene website for details. And as always, we can't thank Judy Keene, Carolyn Fazina, and all the people behind the scenes who make Keen on Kids, for our Wethersfield kids, a huge success. So thank you. And Angelica, you know, these are your last days at Wethersfield High School. We want you to enjoy the emotions that go on here, the bittersweet goodbyes, the joyful celebrations, and the excitement of anticipating new beginnings. We will miss you, and we know you will find success in whatever or wherever you are and you go. And so last call, what's going on at the flagship Wethersfield High School as the year comes to a close?
So a lot of the, well, not a lot, I only have a few things, but the things that I'm going to talk about tonight, they're just mainly for seniors, because it's like the last, week and a half. Tonight was the Dollars for Scholars ceremony. There's many students being recognized for their amazing talents and contributions. And this Thursday, it's also really bittersweet. We're filming the last Blue Eagle News Friday episode to close off the year. And this Friday, we have our senior picnic. I believe it's at Boulder Ridge. We're all looking forward to that. And then next week, before we, as seniors, take our senior exams, we are going to have a yearbook signing after school, and our class officers organize a senior sunset, which is really beautiful because at the beginning of the year, we start off with senior sunrise, so it's a nice way to close that off. And before I close up, I just want to say how grateful I am for this opportunity, and how grateful I am to witness the hard work that each and every single one of you put into making our schools amazing. And again, to Mr. Emmett, congratulations on retirement and an amazing career. So thank you so much.
Oh, you are so welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Is there any unfinished business tonight? Oh, good. So may I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. One last thing. Graduation is at Cove Park, 6 o'clock on Tuesday, June 10th. Thank you and good night.